Welcome back to our off-grid homestead. I'm Lori, and today I would like to talk to you about bears. It's July 25, so we're at the very end. I'm hiking up the hill to see what I can see with our water tanks to make sure that they're filled up. And we've been noticing in our neighborhood and around our neck of the woods that there is an inordinate number of bear sightings in the last 2-3 weeks. Welcome to Ridgehaven Homestead. From the mountains of Upper East Tennessee, we share snippets of our off-grid life, cabin build, and garden blessings. Pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back, and take a peek into our off-grid home and family. So I was curious, are you seeing that around your homestead as well? Even, it doesn't have to be on a homestead, it's just wherever you happen to live, because in town, around town, rural, city, people are just really seeing the bears. And we can't remember a time when there have been so many seen, like all in the same time period. So just we're scratching our heads about that, wondering. Meanwhile, how many cats do I have following me? It doesn't seem to matter time of day, daylight, evening, morning, they are out. So I'm cautiously going up the hill, keeping my eyes open the whole time. So let me know, are you seeing bears? And then I'm going to share a few stories that we've seen and a few instances that we have seen the bears in our neighborhood. We live in Bulls Gap, Tennessee, on the dead end of a very rural road. So we're not on the beaten path at all. So it's not unusual that we would see a lot of animal activity. In fact, we regularly see possums, raccoons, and deer pretty much every single day. They like to think they're cats because they like to eat our cats' food. On our road, there has been a juvenile bear that's been roaming up and down. I've seen videos from our neighbors where they have seen him running through their yard, and he doesn't really do too much. He just kind of passes through. He's not that big, probably a teenager, somewhat of a juvenile, but he's been there many times and pretty regularly, they've told me. So that's about 4 houses down from us. Now, some of our neighbors have goats. We have several neighbors who do hold goats, and so I know that makes them a little bit nervous. Our tanks are about a third of the way, so I do need to have that water pumping. There have been times recently when I have seen evidence of bear up here on the tanks. I think they're looking for water. Right now I can't really tell. I have seen tracks up here, but not recently. That was just Buddy. Sometimes we will see muddy tracks on the tops of these tanks that are empty, but right now I'm not seeing any, and I'm not seeing any bear tracks too much. I'm not seeing any tracks at all right now. So we have the juvenile bear that many people have seen, and then those same neighbors have also, they believe that they have seen the mama, and she doesn't seem to be traveling with the baby, and she just kind of goes. So she's kicked the baby out. So she's been seen, and then our nearest neighbor told me last week that he has also seen the daddy. Now, I'm not really completely sure how to tell the difference between a mother and a father black bear. Maybe it's just size. I haven't really looked into that. I take his word for it. He said that the bear came up to his dog, and they were trying to decide who was boss. I'm pretty sure the dog decided that the bear was boss. So the juvenile who passes through, I did see last week, and he was being very playful, and he was turning over trash cans, and that seems to be what he loves to do. I saw him making a big mess of our neighbor's dumpster with trash in it, and so I have a little clip that you can see there. I was just driving along the road, and he didn't seem a bit scared to see me. He seems like they're pretty used to seeing people around. So that's kind of interesting. So the mama or the daddy bear have been seen by at least like 5 or 6 of our neighbors. And I'm watching my cat because it looks like she's made a nest in the grass exactly where that turtle made the nest a couple of weeks ago. Let me just check and see what he's doing. Here's Booger. Buddy, what are you doing? Are you making a turtle nest? Yeah, that is exactly where the turtle was, in that little copse of grass. I guess it was a good hollowed out place for a cat. Carrying on with our bear encounters, I was a little bit in denial about what I saw a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago, when we opened the door literally and there was a pile of poop right on our doorstep. And it was right outside the door, where the animal had to climb up like 15 steps, and then it was on the landing. So I thought, no, it probably was not a bear. I assumed it was a raccoon. But once I posted that video, I had friends say, I think that was bear poop. There were all those berries in it, and that is pretty telling. But I didn't really want to believe that a bear had come up those steps. But I think it was because later on I saw where something with fairly big claws had scratched on the door as well. And so maybe we need to put up a trail cam by our door because there seemed to be animals visiting us. So yeah, whether the bear was big or small, it left a pretty big pile of poop. And last week, my husband saw, as he was driving out for work in the morning, he saw a baby bear running down our driveway, and he stopped and it ran into the woods. And so we definitely know they're on our property around. So we live in Bulls Gap, but we have some friends who also live in Bulls Gap, just probably 10 miles away from us, or 5 to 7 miles away, but still in Bulls Gap. Well, they saw a bear coming out at their house in their yard on Sunday, showed up about breakfast time. And so we know that they're all around the region. It's not just our zone. We are not in a special zone. They're just all around. And then Greenville, which is about 16, 17 miles from us, we have friends who've been seeing bears. They've been knocking down trash cans. They've been dragging out trash, just making a general nuisance of themselves. So like I said, it doesn't seem to matter if you're rural or if you're in town. The bears are out and they're looking for food. Maybe they're looking for friends, but I think they're mostly looking for food. So last week I was driving down the road and I was delayed because of somebody else in the road, and I ended up talking to the mail lady, and she said that last week seemed to be a particularly high bear sighting experience for people around this road. Well, she said she was putting mail into the mailbox a couple mailboxes down from us, and she saw out of the corner of her eye a big black dog, and so she put the mail in there, and then she said, wait a minute. She looked back and it was a bear. She said it was a good size. She usually carries a taser with her, but she didn't happen to have it with her, so she scooted right along down the road. But she said that was the second or third time that she had seen bears that week, which was last week on our road. And so they're just out and about. They're not even hiding. They're just doing their own thing. And you can be sure that the next time she had her taser charged up, just a little electric one, and she said she doesn't even use it on the bears. She just pushes the button and it makes that electrical sound, and that is enough to scare them. So also on that same day when I talked to our neighbor, she said that just over the ridge, like we live at the bottom of a ridge, and then it goes up and then over, and there's another road. So it's not even a half a mile as the crow flies. The mama bear was seen with her 3 baby cubs just across from us over the ridge. So we just know that they're out and about. We have seen evidence. I'm sure you've seen evidence. Let me know what you've seen that lets you know that there are bears in your area. And I'd love to hear your bear stories. But the best story by far happened just this week to my mom. She emailed me. She's like, usually there's not a whole lot going on. And she lives in the city. She lives within city limits of Greenville. But she emailed me and she was a little bit surprised. And I was a little bit surprised and also humored. And I'm just going to read you what she read because it was kind of cute. Guess what? We just had a bear on the porch right by our front door. He was pushing the wheelchair around. Can you imagine a bear pushing the wheelchair around? That's what I'm trying to imagine. And he found the box with the birdseed in it and tried to open it. He ended up pushing it down the steps and finally getting it open. He took the bag of bird seed out and went over to where the bird feeders were and sat there with the bag of seed and started eating it. He had it made in the shade, didn't he? He was there for a while, but now I am not sure where he went, but probably out in the yard somewhere. I am not going out for a while. Scary. It wasn't a huge bear, but it also wasn't all that small. That's too close for comfort for sure. Love, Mom. And she added a postscript. If you can't find me, maybe the bear ate me. And my aunt too. I'm pretty sure that the bear didn't eat her, but I'm also pretty sure she certainly did not go out in her yard after seeing that bear. So watch where you're going, whether you're in town or out in the country. Watch out. The bears are active. They seem to be looking for birdseed. I'm pretty sure that we had a bear take down our garden fence, or it could have been a deer or possum, but I'm pretty sure that something also knocked down a few of my sunflowers, and that made me kind of upset. But they probably were looking for the seed, because who doesn't love sunflower seeds? I think we all do. The moral of the story is there's lots of bears. Be careful out there. Tell me what bears you've seen, and until next time, you stay safe, be well, and may God bless you.